and Ferb are gonna do an irrational amount of things.
Hello, my beautiful people. So I decided to film this video outside. One, because my parents are taking a nap. And two, because, Phineas and Ferb is about, making the most out of your summer vacation and summer fun. So I figured, might as well just film this video outside on such a beautiful day. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. Now you can see how I decided to film this outside while they're taking a nap. I had to clean my glasses. So, let's talk about Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Candace Against the Universe. The second film based on the hit Disney Channel show Phineas and Ferb. I remember watching Phineas and Ferb a lot when I was little, when it was airing episodes, and I really enjoyed it. And even time and time again, I'll catch a rerun of it on TV or something like that, and eventually a couple of years ago, I binged the entire show. Although, everything that was on Netflix, really, Disney property on Netflix, that's funny. Although, The Muppets is apparently coming to Netflix later. Weird, ain't it? Yeah. And Netflix didn't have, the Christmas episode or the second musical clip show episode. So they didn't have all the episodes, so it was weird. But now Disney Plus has all the episodes, so that's nice. And Disney Plus also has the first movie, which I remember watching it as it first aired on the Disney Channel. It's probably the best in my opinion. Yeah. Well, but then again, it's been a long time since I've seen a brand new DCOM. I think the last one that I saw was Descendants, which I freaking despise. Trying to keep my language to a G-rated level here. So, because I did not like Descendants, but the first Phineas and Ferb movie, Across the Second Dimension, I actually watched it a couple days ago, actually, right before I saw this one, and it held up really well. Well, yeah, I watched it as a part of Disney XD's huge marathon of every Phineas and Ferb episode leading up to this movie, which it's kind of a bit weird since this movie probably didn't even air on Disney Channel or Disney XD. It just dropped on Disney Plus. So they'll be like, it's leading up to the movie, but hey, you gotta go ahead and pay $7 to watch it on Disney Plus, so sorry. And as for this movie itself, it was great. It was fantastic. Probably the second best Disney Plus movie of the year. Remember, Hamilton counts, even though it is a Broadway musical from 2015, which is weird considering the fact that it's also technically the best Disney movie of 2020 so far. So, anyway, before we get into what I actually think about the film, aside from what I think is fantastic, I just want on August 28th, 2020, Disney released 3 movies. There was this one. There was The Personal History of David Copperfield, which I sadly have not seen yet, which actually looks very interesting, and I actually really want to check it out. And the film that I did see in theaters on opening day, The New Mutants. Oh God, that movie. That video's coming. Not this week, but it's coming. I just want to know, since that video won't be coming out for a while, I'm gonna save it as a part of my big horror movie review marathon coming in October. I just want to let you know that that movie sucked. It was not a good send-off for the X-Men movies at all. So that's pretty much it. Anyway, now let's finally move on to Candace against the Universe. Basically, Candace is pissed on how she's never able to bust Phineas and Ferb, and how the invention just disappears or turns smaller or turns into friggin' I don't know Batman or turns into lint in the case of this invention. And she feels that the universe is against her because of this. Phineas and Ferb, realizing on how Candace actually wasn't having fun at all throughout the summer, they decide to make her a little gift. And Vanessa comes by the house, who sees Candace moping, and Vanessa gives Candace a little speech on how, like, hey, you're probably just trying to bust Phineas and Ferb because of your own self-pity. And Candace notices something else that's already in the front yard. She thinks it's one of Phineas and Ferb's inventions, but they get sucked up in because, surprise, it's actually a teleportation bot from outer space. And so Phineas and Ferb realize this, and they head to Baljeet to help make a portal, which is followed by a really funny fourth wall gag about Baljeet's like, this will at least take a montage to do. Wow, it surprisingly took a wipe. That was my first time ever trying to do Baljeet. Can you tell? So they built the portal, but it turns out it doesn't lead them to the planet. It takes them to 3, 2, 1. And so, but surprise, surprise, Doofenshmirtz also built the same portal. Because as he figured out that Vanessa was a part of that taken to this space place. Because Vanessa posted it on social media. Which further evokes a question that I've been having for a while now. Actually, it's the thing is, why has Candace never thought to take a picture of what Phineas and Ferb have built and show it to her mom? I will admit, she has done something like that before. Like in the episode, there was an episode where Phineas and Ferb got turned into babies, and Candace took a photo of them as babies. But Linda, their mom, thought that it was just an old baby photo. And in the episode Chronicles of Meepless in Seattle, she vlogged the entire journey, but her phone got destroyed by the end of the episode. So she has done some type of stuff like that before. And the thing is, why has she never thought to do that ever again, with the exception of those 1-2 times? In fact, if she had done that in the first episode, took a photo of the roller coaster, we wouldn't have a show. But then again, the show has proven a couple times before that it's probably a good thing that Phineas and Ferb has never gotten busted. Much like how the show has proven that it's a really good thing that the Fletcher family don't know about Perry's secret life. Which, speaking of Perry, he has a subplot in the film where he's trying to save Candace from the aliens, but the problem is that he's their pet, so he's gotta somehow save Candace without her knowing that Perry's a secret agent. And it makes everything even more difficult when Phineas and Ferb and all their friends are heading to the planet with Dr. Doofenshmirtz. So, Major Monogram points out that Perry was probably the worst agent that they could have brought on this mission. I mean, probably. Probably could have brought like Peter the Panda or something like that. I don't know. So they head on a mission. They head on the mission. Vanessa managed to escape, but no. Vanessa manages to escape, but Candace wasn't able to. But it turns out that the aliens took Candace because she is the chosen one to do stuff. It's not really explained till later. And the alien ruler is actually very similar to Candace, as we are to believe, on how she problems with others. But the big twist later on is that, I'm just gonna give it away right now, is that she is actually an evil dictator. She invaded this planet of alien beings called the Cowards. And, well, she basically just took over the world, took over this planet because, like Candace, she too felt that the universe was against her and she had terrible trouble with her brothers. So she locked her brothers up in a dungeon. And when we cut away to the brothers in the dungeon, we never see them again after that point, even when the villain is defeated. So I'm just gonna assume that the brothers are just locked up in the dungeon at all times, never to be freed. They died in the dungeon. They can't even play catch with a ball. They can't even do that. Wow. And the way this alien was able to take over this planet is because she used this plant to control everyone's minds and basically to do her bidding and to be their slaves, basically. However, it's temporary. It wears off very quickly, so... And the plant has been shriveling up. So, and they need more carbon dioxide. And she thought that Candace was the only person who could breathe this carbon dioxide, so she would be perfect. But Candace spills the bean and realizes that, and says that everyone on Earth is filled with carbon dioxide. So they then go and go to Earth to control and rule everyone. And oops. Also, and rewinding back to Phineas, Ferb, Doof, and everyone. I forgot to mention that Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated blew up. So it blows up in this movie. It's perfectly fine afterwards. It takes place sometime during the original show. So yeah. But it blows up in Milo Murphy's Law. He has to get a new place to live. Wrap your head around that. And Doof has little bit of a feud with Isabella about Isabella's like you shouldn't be the leader, even though you're the only adult here. You're probably the dumbest out of all of us. And Doofenshmirtz is like, I'm the adult, you listen to me, it's called adulting. And it leads to a musical number, which is actually a really catchy song. I quite enjoy it. It's fun. It's really fun, actually. There are definitely more montage-style songs in this than there are straight-up musical numbers. But then again, Phineas and Ferb has been... So, but that's not a big deal. because the songs in this film are really good, and I highly enjoy them. There's some good bops in here. Well, there's a really out of nowhere Perry the Platypus song, which it's very softly sung, and it's very different from the rest of the songs in the movie. It's a little weird, to be honest. But eventually, when Doof and Isabella, when they all try to save Candace, Doof and Isabella part ways, and Doof gets surviving off an alien planet type badge, and I'm just gonna be like, why does the Fireside Girls have that type of badge? Like, really? The Fireside Girls would have a surviving or leaving an alien planet badge? I mean, there's a badge for everything. And speaking of, Doofenshmirtz is a whole lot of fun, as he always is in this film, and all the cast is great. You could tell that at this point they know their characters and they know how well they are. I mean, they've been doing these characters on and off again for about 13 years now, and I give them applause for Phineas. So Phineas and crew try to save Candace, but Candace is happy, so they get sent to the dungeon. Candace didn't know that they were going to the dungeon. But however, Perry frees them, although Phineas and Ferb, Urban Company, think that they did it. They freed themselves by tramping with the truck. And they find the cowards, and they motivate them to kick the butt. Candace figures out the whole evil dictator thing, and they then head off to Earth, and Phineas and company head back onto the ship, although Doofenshmirtz figures out that Vanessa never made it back to Earth. She's still on the planet, so Doof heads out to find Vanessa. So Phineas and company head back on the ship, and the launching on the ship, and this is where my favorite joke starts. This is where my favorite joke in the movie is, and basically, I forget the context, but the animation slowly goes down to. The animation turns back into animatic, to eventually to storyboards, and then to the creators of the show and people behind the stuff, to the creators of the show, Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy March, pitching the scene. That was awesome. And even later, and even the kids' reaction to this scene, Ferb is like, we were never going to mention this again, and everyone else says, agreed. It's hilarious, and the cool thing is that I listed this as my favorite moment of the film on a TikTok video of the co-creator Jeff Swampy Marsh, and he saw it. He saw my comment. He liked my comment. My life is complete. I can jump off of this ledge now. Okay, update. Now the other co-creator, Dan Povenmire, has liked the comment that I made about the scene on his TikTok page, so I guess technically both of the Phineas and Ferb creators have acknowledged my existence. My life is fully complete. Back to the video. So the aliens head to Earth, and everyone is freaking terrified that they broke a statue. That joke is also great. I love that. And they're just like, hey, he's a spaceship. Oh, and also, why is Roger the mayor doing the announcements for a baseball game? Man, this is what happens when politicians get corrupted. So everyone in Danville are terrified of the aliens, and Candace's friend Stacy hides out in the van of Candace's boyfriend, Germany, 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 Germany. How the frick do you pronounce his name? So Stacy hides out in Jeremy's van, and well, Jeremy's van, the food truck really, and we see Jeremy making spears with a costume, and it turns out that Jeremy's a LARPer. Yeah, he was making these spears and stuff for his costume, but it turns out it comes in handy for an alien invasion. And he's like, "Don't tell Candace." It's great. It's great. There's a lot of strong humor, and Jeremy is very tacked onto the film, but he's freaking funny. I really enjoy. He's a funny character in this film, which I never really cared for Jeremy, to be honest. I don't think a lot of people did, but he's actually pretty funny in this movie. I really enjoyed it. So they had. Oh, Phineas and Ferb rescued Candace. They give Candace the gift that they made, which was a coffee mug, which predicted several memories that they've had from the original series. A freaking nice car just drove by. I mean, dear Lord, that was freaking awesome. And I have the question: how the frick did they get that footage? How did they get the memories? How'd you get that, you soul? You poor soul. How did you get that? I'm confused. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about Doofenshmirtz and the stuff. So Doofenshmirtz finds Perry the Platypus, or rather, Perry saves Doofenshmirtz from his death, and Doofenshmirtz figures out that Perry the Platypus, you've been saving me. You've been watching over me, over me, and saving me, Perry the Platypus. And then they find Vanessa, who's riding this dragon thing, and Doofenshmirtz uses the chicken swapinator which he's had throughout this whole film, to basically swap out the dragon with the nearest chicken on Earth. But you think he had it set to the nearest chicken, and he previously swapped another dragon thing out with a chicken earlier, so he swapped it out with the chicken that was on the planet. So he set it to farthest chicken, and tra-la, they're back on Earth to kick some alien butt. They defeat the aliens, and they have one last musical number, and the movie's over. So, for my final thoughts, I thought the movie was really freaking good. They did a great job on bringing these characters back and doing a really good story and a good message of appreciating your family and stuff like that. So, this movie provokes the question, what is the future of Phineas and Ferb? I feel like this will be the best way. Movies and specials for Disney+. I don't think they should bring the show back for another season. Just keep doing what they're doing right now. Maybe even bring it back for a new show with them older. Anyway, that will be it for this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment below and let me know what you thought of this movie. Be sure to ring the bell, and I'll see you later. Bye!